Welcome back. Today I will introduce you to my 15 favorite aesthetic gymnastics routines based on a connection of the theme with the music, leotards and body movements. My opinion was also based on the creativity of the theme and elements in the program. I hope you enjoy it. Number 15. Junior Team Victoria from Russia in 2014. Music is called Starvation by Thomas Bergerson. It is an instrumental piece which features Bulgarian folk songs Arshenko, Pilia Cherno and Bezrodna Nevesta. I wasn't exactly able to identify the exact themes of this program, but the choreography is very interesting and connected to the music. This team used two different leotards and both included flames in yellow and orange colors, so we could assume something has to do with fire. Their body movements, however, are very well connected with all changes in music, and I also really like the synchronization in this routine. Number 14. Junior Team Victoria from Russia in 2018. The theme of this routine is Carmen, an opera in 4 acts by French composer Georges Bizet, about a gypsy girl. The music they used is an overture or prelude from the first act. The leotards could represent the clothes of the dancers from Prelude and fit well into the program. Once again, the movements are superbly connected to the background, and I also admire the gymnast's expression. Number 13. Senior Team Ciutat de Barcelona Alcon from Spain in 2019. The theme of this routine is Bella Ciao, originally an Italian protest folk song, which eventually became an anthem of the anti-fascist resistance by the Italian partisans. The leotard could represent the Italian partisan uniform, which fits very well in the program. The story tells that their body should be buried on the mountain, because the partisan died for freedom. This is well represented in the end of the routine.
Portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire.
Number 12. Junior National Team from Bulgaria in 2015. The theme of this routine is Maleficent, American fantasy film, from where they also took the background music. The beginning of the routine is Once Upon a Dream by Lana Del Rey and the rest is by James Newton Howard. The leotards remind us of the dress that Maleficent wore. In the beginning of the program, Maleficent enters the doors, just like in a movie. Body language fantastically represents the theme, and I really like how smoothly all music pieces are connected together.
Gleam in your eyes is so familiar, a gleam, and I know it's true.
Number 11. OVO Junior Team from Finland in 2019. The theme is Lord of the Rings, a movie, based on the novel by J.R.R. Tolkien. I find Gollum's interpretation most interesting in this exercise, as the gymnasts have their hair dyed white, which represents his bald head, and bright blue lenses just as he has blue eyes. The choice of music is also smart, since everyone recognized these songs from a movie. They even included a horrible swallowing noise of Gollum in the beginning and the end of the routine, which adds value. Pay attention to interesting body movement, where they tried to create scenes from the film. Number 10. Senior Team Madonna from Russia in 2015. The theme of this routine is love, and is based on a song Io ti penso amore by David Jarrett, which was also featured in a movie The Devil's Violinist, life story of Italian composer Paganini. However, the subject sings about his lover and claims that he is close to her, even if he is away. The movement is very passionate and expresses well the subject's love. I think we can really feel the music in their moves. I also find the leotards suitable, but do not think they represent anything. Number 9. OVO Junior Team from Finland in 2016. This routine talks about famous composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. It consists of two songs, Rock Me Amadeus by Falco and Symphony No. 40 by Mozart. I love how they put in the effort with the hairstyle and leotards that show they dressed back in his time. In the background is also a voice telling about his life and achievements, which they connect very well into the movements.
1761, at the age of 5, Amadeus begins composing. 1791, 1, Mozart composes the Magic Flute. On December 5th of that same year, Mozart dies.
I especially like the violin playing detail in the end, and hand movement. Number 8. Senior Rovo Team from Finland in 2013. This is another story about love, sung by Jenny Vartanen. It talks about a girl's connection between wind and her lover. She asks the wind to tell him she misses him and is waiting for him. Leotard symbolizes the wind, with spirals and mist. Fun fact about this song is that this version was made in the studio just for this program. We can hear the wind in the back of the orchestra.
Ja vartalon liikkeissä. Ja silloin näistä hypyistä taivutuksella tulee niitä vaikeimpia vaikeusosia. Ja kuten näette, miten ilmaisullinen joukkue on tänään, mieletön tunnelma.
Ja tästä lähdetään tuohon viimeiseen todella vaikeaan nostoon.
Ja näin tuuli vieri pyörähti lopussa.
Number 7. Senior Team Gloria from Finland in 2019. The theme of this routine is the impact of current technology on people. It is based on 3 songs, but I think the most important is Talking by Prince EA, saying, "If we can autocorrect humanity." The body language here is on point. The gymnasts are constantly looking at the phone screens with their heads bowed, and their palms in front of them. It is like the red thread of the program. However, I cannot seem to connect the leotards to the routine, but it is still phenomenal. And the background music is well connected as a whole.
Did you know the average person spends 4 years of his life looking down at his cell phone? Technology has made us more selfish and separate than ever. 'Cause while it claims to connect us, connection has gotten no better.
Number 6. Senior Team Ritmica Cartagena from Spain in 2019. The music of this routine is Nessun Dorma by Luciano Pavarotti, which means Let No One Sleep. It is a Puccini's aria from opera Turandot, sung by Prince who falls in love with cold Princess Turandot. In this part, she can execute him if she correctly guesses his name, otherwise she must marry him. She decrees that none of her subjects shall sleep until his name is discovered. Vincero in the end means I will win. Prince eventually wins as presented in the end of the routine. Leotards represent the prince's uniform, but I must add that this team is from mixed competition, which means they not only have girls but also one boy, which makes a composition even more real. There's also a precise body work, but the story alone is already beautifully presented.
Nessun dorme mai, il mio mistero è chiuso in me. Il nome mio nessun saprà, no, no, sulla tua bocca, no, di le tue notte tramontate stelle, tramontate stelle, all'alba vincerò, vincerò,
Number 5. Junior Team Minute Elite from Finland in 2017. The theme of this routine is Metso bird, known as wood grouse or heathercock. Its populations are large in forested regions of central Finland. That is why this animal appears in its coat of arms and is also a regional bird. Black leotards with feathers and purple eyeshadows represent their bodies. Song is instrumental piece by Einar Ringland, played by Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra. Body language is very characteristic here and is present through the whole routine. Number 4. Senior Team Expressure from Russia in 2018. The theme of this routine is time. The talk in the beginning introduces the story, which is then followed by instrumental piece by Boarts Trio. Through the program we see ticking clock, in the form of sound and also visually. I absolutely adore the bodywork here and how they present the problem of time flying by so fast. It is a beautiful background and wonderfully connects with the routine. If you look carefully, you will notice how they look down on their hand as if they were checking time or wristwatch. The choice of leotard seems perfectly appropriate to me, as I imagine time as something neutral and not in vivid colors. It is also simple to understand because anyone who watches it gets the idea.
Time is a major enemy. It takes you down to sleep when you're tired, but it keeps you awake when there's fire. It's about time we realize it. And all if you can't get away with it, you'll keep walking without taking a break. And without missing a beat, it'll take you down to sleep.
Number 3. Senior Rovo Team from Finland in 2006. The song is Stormcars Maya and is played by Avaskila Sinfonia, but is originally by Lasse Martinsson. It was written for Annie Blomqvist novels that were adapted for a popular TV series Murskylöden Maya. It talks about how Jana and Maya marry and live in a town Murskylöotto. The program shows how they give birth to 6 children. English were then invading town and they flee to Finland. The ending represents Maya's death. The instrumental piece alone is so beautiful and it is very satisfying to watch how the gymnasts connect their body movements in it. And I admire their expression. It is like they are living with the music. However, the leotards are nice, but I can't connect them with anything.
Upea nosto heti tähän alkuun. Sitten tulemme viimeiseen tasapainoon, joka menee myös hienosti. Ja lopun vaikea nosto.
Number 2. Senior Team Japan in 2017. The music is called Sarajevo by Max Richter, German-British composer. It is about a couple from Bosnia. She was a Muslim and he was Orthodox Christian. During a war, they decided to leave the city and were shot on the bridge that connected both sides of the city. They died on the floor, hugging each other. This tragedy is also known as Romeo and Juliet of Sarajevo. The other song, that appears in the beginning and the end of the program, is called Stay With Me, and I connect it to their romance, because they stayed together till the end. I imagine that the wings on the leotard symbolize their death. Routine is beautifully executed and the synchronization is insane. I love how simple it looks and I could watch it over and over. It is really something special. I imagine that contraction here represents the shot, since the music hits the top. And I love how dramatically they continue the jumps. Number 1. Senior Team Minuutti in 2017. This routine was made in honor of the 100th anniversary of Finnish independence and has a very symbolic meaning. The music is called Finlandia by Finnish composer Jean Sibelius, and is one of the most important national songs. The author published it in 1899. When Russian influence over Finland reached its higher point, they demanded Russian language, money currency, religion and censorship. The leotard represents Finnish flag, with white and blue colors, while hair is blonde, as it is known for Finns. Therefore, this instrumental piece represents the national struggle of Finns, which is heard in rousing and turbulent music in the first half. I adore the expression and connection with the music, especially the body language. Towards the end, a calm codes over and Finlandia hymn is heard. It represents the awakening, following their independence. Finally, I would like to say that these are just my predictions and an explanation of how I envision these programs. You need to know that everyone has their own imagination, and that is the essence of aesthetic gymnastics. However, if you want to see the full routines, I will leave links to them in the description. Thank you for watching.